Hi all, welcome back. We have successfully completed the second unit, haven't we? In this video, we are going to start the third unit. In this unit, there are three lessons to be taken. The first lesson, named The Little Girl and the Umbrella, is the free translation of the first chapter of the famous Malayalam novel ഒരു കുടയും കുഞ്ഞു പെങ്ങളും, written by മുട്ടത്ത് വർക്കി. The second lesson, named A Saturday Morning, is a slightly adapted version of the famous novel The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, written by Mark Twain. And the third lesson is a poem named Happiness, written by Raymond Carver. I have already said that the first lesson, The Little Girl and the Umbrella, is the free translation of the first chapter of the famous Malayalam novel ഒരു കുടയും കുഞ്ഞു പെങ്ങളും, written by മുട്ടത്ത് വർക്കി. Have you ever heard about മുട്ടത്ത് വർക്കി? Here is a short profile of him. മുട്ടത്ത് വർക്കി. Muttati Varki was born in April 1913 and died in May 1989. Was a Malayalam novelist, short story writer and poet. Varki was an exponent of a genre of sentimental romantic fiction in Malayalam literature. Varki was born in Chettipuzha, a small village near Chenganasheri in Kottayam district, Kerala. He began his career as a school teacher at St. Birchman's High School, Chenganasheri. Hope you have got an idea about the writer. Now let's start the story. See this picture? A boy and a girl walking through a country road. Where are they going? Let's find it out from the story. Don't forget to underline the unfamiliar words while reading the story. Let's start.
The Little Girl and the Umbrella. A girl in the rain. The sky was cloudy. A cold breeze was blowing languidly. The trees on the both sides of the country road were swaying gently in the wind. Lily, it is going to rain. You go with Gracie, Baby said, pointing to the girl from the Umangalam family, their rich neighbors. What about you? Lily asked him. I'll run. Baby started running. The raindrops started falling. 1, 2, 4. The rain quickened. The rain. Lily also ran, holding her slate and books against her chest. She felt the rain lashing her face. She placed the slate over her book. Even if the raindrops fell on the slate, nothing would happen. It would not get spoiled. Gracie, can I too? Lily begged and tried to get in under Gracie's umbrella. But Gracie moved away from Lily. Gracie's neat clothes were made of fine silk, but Lily was clad in quite old and torn clothes. Gracie, please, Lily begged again. Go away, girl. I won't let you in under my umbrella, Gracie said stubbornly. Lily could not control her tears. She wept bitterly. The rain also was quite cruel to her. It came down heavily on her. Lily ran on and on, thoroughly wet. Heavy drops of rain fell on her face like pebbles falling from the sky. Muddy water ran against her little feet. Tears of rain. Lily took shelter in the veranda of a small shop on the country road. Her clothes and books were wet. What really upset her was her books getting wet. Standing in a corner of the veranda, she started sobbing. She saw Gracie passing by with her umbrella. The raindrops flowing down from Lily's hair blurred her eyes as they mixed with her tears. The bitter cold made her shiver and her teeth started to chatter. Her dress was now completely drenched in the rain. She placed her slate and books on the floor. She squeezed the edges of her skirt to drain water from it. The edges of the skirt split. It was a very old skirt, the only one she had. At home, she always had to change into a bath towel. Lost childhood. Lily and her brother Baby had lost both their parents. Their father died 3 years ago and their mother about a year ago. They now lived with their aunt, their mother's elder sister. The fat dark aunt with a flat nose was a 50-year-old widow. She had a son in the army who sent her 20 rupees every month. She was known to be a tight-fisted woman. She had no land of her own. She lived in a hut on a plot owned by the Umangalam family for whom she worked as a maid. The money sent by her son was deposited in a private bank, but after a few months the bank collapsed. The loss of money was unbearable to her and she started showing signs of insanity. She took out all her anger on her niece Lily. She behaved like a devil to her niece and nephew and often beat them up. She hated the children going to school. She ordered them to draw water from well, wash clothes and do all the cooking. Baby was 11 years old and was studying in class 4. Lily, 3 years younger, was in class 2. They were perhaps the poorest children in their school. A bruise. Lily sighed as the second bell rang at her school. The rain showed no sign of stopping or slowing down. The cold wind was still blowing. If she was late for the classes, her teacher would scold her. At times she would beat her too. Lily started running to school. The rain drenched her clothes again. She held her books and slate close to her chest. Suddenly she slipped and fell on the road. Her skirt was soiled and got torn. Her knees were bruised and blood oozed out. Still, she felt no pain. A page of her book was torn. Her slate was broken as well. She stood in the rain and cried bitterly. When she reached school, some children began laughing at her. The teacher banged the cane on the table and everybody became silent. The teacher glared at Lily. "Why do you come drenched in the rain? Don't you have an umbrella?" "No, teacher," said Lily, wiping her tears with her hand. "Go and stand in the veranda. You will dirty the classroom." The teacher pointed to the veranda. Lily saw Gracie giggling. Her heart sank. The rain had stopped, but tears still rolled out of her cheeks.
Did you finish reading? Have you got an idea of what the story about? Let me help you. I'm going to read the subheading, A Girl in the Rain, once again. Listen carefully. A girl in the rain. The sky was cloudy. A cold breeze was blowing languidly. The trees on the both sides of the country road were swaying gently in the wind. "Lily, it is going to rain. You go with Gracie," Baby said, pointing to the girl from the Umangalam family, their rich neighbors. "What about you?" Lily asked him. "I'll run." Baby started running. The raindrops started falling. 1, 2, 4. The rain quickened. You may get the names of the characters. Who are the characters? Yes, Baby, Lily, and Gracie. Baby and Lily are siblings. And who is Gracie? Yes, Gracie is their neighbor. And she belongs to a rich family named Pumangalam. Did you notice the word languidly? What does it mean? Yes, the word languidly means slowly. The sky was cloudy. A cold breeze was blowing languidly. That means very slowly. The trees on both sides of the country road were swaying gently in the wind. What is going to happen? Yes, it is going to rain. At that moment, Baby advised Lily to go with Gracie, their rich neighbor from the Pumangalam family. When Lily asked the baby what he would do, he replied that he would run. He said without any thinking, I'll run. What will you do, dears? Yes, I know that. You will also run, even if you have an umbrella. Suddenly, the raindrops started falling and the rain quickened. Do you think will Gracie, the rich girl, allow Lily to go with her? Let's find it out from the next part. That is the rain. Let's read it. The rain. Lily also ran, holding her slate and books against her chest. She felt the rain lashing her face. She placed the slate over her book. Even if the raindrops fell on the slate, nothing would happen. It would not get spoiled. Gracie, can I too? Lily begged and tried to get in under Gracie's umbrella. But Gracie moved away from Lily. Gracie's neat clothes were made of fine silk, but Lily was clad in quite old and torn clothes. Gracie, please, Lily begged again. Go away, girl. I won't let you in under my umbrella, Gracie said stubbornly. Lily could not control her tears. She wept bitterly. The rain also was quite cruel to her. It came down heavily on her. Lily ran on and on, thoroughly wet. Heavy drops of rain fell on her face like pebbles falling from the sky. Muddy water ran against her little feet. Did Gracie allow Lily to get in under her umbrella? No, she didn't. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. From this you can see what did Gracie do. How cruel she is, right? Here is a question for you. Is it just a drizzle or a heavy downpour? How does the author describe rain in the passage? How does Muttathu Varki describe the rain in the passage? Exactly. It was a heavy rain. The author described the heavy downpour as pebbles which fall from the sky. Next question. Why did Lily place the slate over her book? Why did Lily place the slate over her book? Yes, you are right. Lily placed the slate over her book because even if the rain drops fell on the slate, nothing would happen and it would not get spoiled. That's why Lily held the slate over her books. Lily begged Gracie and tried to get in under her umbrella, but she said that she wouldn't let her in under her umbrella. How did Gracie said that? Yes, she said stubbornly. The word stubbornly means in a manner that shows not to change. Lily couldn't control her tears and she wept bitterly. That means painfully. Why did Lily weep bitterly? Yes, because Gracie didn't let Lily under her umbrella, so she wept bitterly. The rain also was quite cruel to her. It came down heavily on her. Heavy drops of rain fell on her face like pebbles falling from the sky. Muddy water ran against her little feet. Have you noticed how the author describes Lily's and Gracie's clothes? Yes. Gracie wears neat clothes which made of fine silk, but Lily's were quite old and torn clothes. That means, as we said earlier, Gracie belongs to a rich family and Lily belongs to a poor family. Let's learn more about Lily and her family in the next video. Until then, bye.